On this episode of DC On Screen, we are talking about the trailer for Joker. We're talking about Suicide Squad 2 news. That's right, you heard me. Suicide Squad 2. And Gotham's Joker reveal right after this. So put on a happy face.
Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. Preg is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
You think of Earth as a singular planet. In fact, it is anything but. For this is a story not of a universe, but a multiverse, where universes and planets, such as Earth, were replicated and mirrored across a vibrating, infinite plane. Some barely different from the next. Others drastically so.
This is DC On Screen. Every week, Dave and Jason talk about the multiverse of DC properties on film and television. But be warned, if it's been officially released, you can expect they'll spoil it.
Welcome into DC On Screen episode 538. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hello.
We're going to power through this. And that's not to say we're not going to, enjoy the conversation or anything, but we have a special episode coming after this that is the Batman 80th anniversary special. Do want to mention, before we get to the news, we got 2 new patrons this week. The wonderful Travis Hines from Superhero Discussions and our good friend, Dr. Steve from Weird Medicine.
Thank you both.
Salt of the earth. Both salt of the earth. Wonderful people.
New heroes of ours.
New heroes of ours. Thank you so much. And because they have subscribed to the $5 tier, what is that? The End Alm Be Alm? Is that what that's called? Mm-hmm. They get access to all the new content, or all the extra content, I should say. We just put up a Chasing Squirrels episode. We're talking about Ghostbusters 3. We're talking about...
Okay, you're back.
What's it?
Just checking on your health. Just making sure you're all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, dying a little bit.
They're
gonna get access to all the extra content. Chasing Squirrels. We just put up the first episode of that, which is just little tangents that we have in the episodes, and that I'm cutting out because, good Lord. In the new one, we're talking about Ghostbusters 3. We go on a real Ghostbusters tangent. Talking about Ernie Hudson as well. You just put out a Jason's Pull List, Heroes in Crisis number 7. And right. We just recorded a new Jason's Pull List. It's like an hour long where we're talking about
good 40 minutes. Yeah.
Detective Comics 1000.
Right.
So we have a whole bunch of stuff up. I think we're like 12, 13 Patreon episodes in. So... right? Go over there.
It's going to be too hard to count very quickly.
Yeah. Go check it out, guys. Give us that sweet, sweet dollar.
Mm-hmm. We need it.
Or $5 actually is what you need to get those. $5.
Or $1. We'll take $1 gladly.
We will, but you won't get the extra content.
Right.
Yeah, that's the rub.
We'll still take it.
We'll still take it
Gladly.
So CinemaCon 2019 happened, and right up front, let's just jump right in. Toby Emmerich was talking about the future slate. He talked about he talked about, and they showed footage for Shazam, Joker, Shaft, Detective Pikachu, Godzilla, King of Monsters, all that crap. We're only concerned with the DC stuff.
All that, whatever. We don't have time. Let's do this.
He says, in the DC pipeline, we have Birds of Prey, Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 84, Matt Reeves' The Batman, and he says, James Gunn's Suicide Squad 2. That from Toby Emmerich's mouth.
It's a good mouth to hear that from.
Then he says, opening this Friday is New Lines and DC's Shazam. We also got an idea that Super Pets is in production, apparently.
Yeah, still amazing.
Yeah.
Still amazing.
They had some footage of Birds of Prey. They heard, and this is just reporting from the event, but they heard like Robbie says, "I love long titles. It's a girl gang." They had the logo flash on the screen. They had promotional footage with the characters, behind the scenes footage with them filming explosions and stuff. Harley holding onto a car and rollerblading behind it. Black Mask aiming a gun. And then they apparently ended up with a group of the women walking toward the camera, sort of like Guardians did in their first trailer. And then Fandango,
standard action trailer, but
yeah, Fandango reported that the first footage of Birds of Prey shows that Margot Robbie's or Harley Quinn is not an official member of the Birds of Prey, but Harley Quinn stirs the pot for the birds. That's what they said.
Nice.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
that sounds accurate. And then there was Wonder Woman 1984 footage where she jumps across a street. She's rising up through the air. We have Jenkins saying Diana is now at her full powers. Diana is in front of the Washington Monument, cuddling with Steve Trevor while wearing a white dress. Then she whips her lasso in a mall. Her colleague becomes her nemesis in the form of Cheetah. And it ends with a shot of her jetting down a street at super speed. Now, this is where we're going to deviate a little bit from the WonderCon stuff, because we actually have firsthand knowledge now. They've released a Joker poster, and they had, and that was anticipation for the trailer coming out, which has now also come out. The poster though has him like looking up. It's like it has Joker looking up, and it says "Put on a happy face." That's like the tagline, and I'm going to explain why I love that in a minute. But Todd Phillips took the stage at WonderCon to talk about the Joker. He says, "I don't have a lot to say about the film as it's still taking shape, but also because I want it to be a surprise. Most of the chatter hasn't been accurate. I suppose that's to be expected about an origin story about a beloved character who has no definitive origin story." He says he couldn't describe the movie to WB executives. He said, "It's a tragedy. I think if the brilliant Joaquin Phoenix was here, he would agree." And they have released that teaser trailer, or that trailer. I mean, it's pretty damn well a trailer.
I mean, I don't know why they called it a teaser.
I love this thing.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, I'm confused, but in a way that I like. I mean, I don't mean deeply confused. Like there are segments of it that are just unnerving, but in a way that I'm like, oh, that feels right. Like the stuff with his mom is like, I feel like I'm going to be cringing most of the time. And
yeah.
Like there's just other shots of just Joaquin doing insane Joaquin things where I'm like, oh, that's probably gonna be great in the story, but I have no idea what's going on right now.
And in the trailer, we do see Sophie Dumont played by Zazie Beetz. We do see Penny Fleck. We do see Murray Franklin as Robert De Niro. We see Thomas Wayne. We do get to see what looks like Bruce Wayne when he's face to face with the boy behind a gate. Yeah. And he sticks his fingers in the boy's mouth and makes him smile. That was creepy. Pretty sure that's Bruce Wayne. Pretty sure they're at Wayne Manor.
I hadn't thought about that, but that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like him staking out Wayne Manor. Oh my gosh, dude. It's just...
There's a lot to love here.
So good. Like Thomas Wayne on television talking about the man hiding behind a mask. And, oh man. Dude, him giving his mom a freaking bath. Like, there was some very incestuous feeling stuff going on there.
Yeah, there's some weirdness there that is for sure going to have me squirming in my seat.
And then he says, "My mother told me I have a purpose to bring laughter and joy to the world." Did you pause it and look at what he was writing on that tablet or on that notebook?
Dude, I only had time to watch it on my phone today, so I can only pause it and read the bigger, like literally the larger handwriting. But I know it was like his jokes. Like he was trying to write a set. And the bottom one was like, the hardest thing about mental illness is that
people expect you to behave as if you don't.
As if you don't, yeah.
Yeah. Like I couldn't make out the jokes.
Which is, by the way, a very sympathetic line for me. Like, I mean, as someone who has a psychology degree at least, like it's a rough thing, and it's very true. Like I feel like this movie for a lot of people with mental illness is going to be kind of striking and maybe really close to home.
And yeah, I felt bad because people pick on him a lot in the trailer. Like I showed it to Bethany, my wife, and she was like, "I'm kind of rooting for him."
Exactly. That was the thing I was really excited about. Oh, by the way, my major disappointment was not getting to see Mark Maron in this teaser.
Oh, yeah. It
was like the one thing I was like, oh, well, okay, I'll see him next time. But it did leave me with this whole sense of like, okay, first of all, I want to know what it is. Like I think I get the sense of what puts this guy over the edge. But seeing this guy as sympathetically as they're painting him, I really want to see when he goes off the deep end what the hell happens.
I mean, we do get a sense of that, like in that montage where he's just, it looks like chaos, utter freaking chaos in Gotham.
It looks like he went into, it kind of looks like he goes into a subway with a revolver and unleashes hell. But, which is hard to do with 6 shots, but whatever. It's enough. Like, you're definitely going to unleash hell on that subway, at the very least. That subway stop is in chaos. But I feel like there are much grander things, especially some of the set photos.
Yeah, there's some political stuff going on. There's a whole lot going on in this trailer in this movie.
Were you curious about this? The major, I think I already said major, but anyway, big thing for me was how much time are they going to devote to his downfall versus when he's gone over the deep end, and where does that lead us?
I don't know.
I don't know if this is going to be a half and half situation. If we've seen a lot in the trailers already of this is a lot of what goes wrong, and the rest of the movie is going to be like, oh shit, this went way off the deep end. I don't know. I really don't. But I'm curious, and I like the tone.
You know what I was excited to see? There was this great bit in there where we see Brian Tyree Henry from Atlanta, freaking Paperboy.
Nice.
We didn't know he was in it. He's not on the IMDb. He's not listed anywhere. But
nice. I didn't catch
he's like it looks like a hospital orderly, and he's like while Joker's he's trying to sign into Arkham State Hospital, and Henry is looking at him, and Fleck just has this like face on, like he's just like stares at him and goes, "What?" And it's like sort of just like really sort of pensive what, and it's like also really it
scary.
Feels threatening.
Oh, yeah. It felt like, to me very much like the implicit
it's very vulnerable.
Was, I dare you to answer this question.
Yeah, he's like a vulnerable what, and but also so like I'm an animal backed into a corner.
It was menacing.
And dude, Joaquin Phoenix, I don't know how much you know about this guy, but everything I've seen him in, he kills it.
Yeah, he's great. I've never seen any role or any moment of any of his roles where I thought this could be an improvement. But I'm really happy that we're finally seeing all this stuff, because I remember like 2 years ago when they were talking about it, or less than, maybe slightly less than, and they were saying, oh, Joaquin Phoenix might be involved around. I was getting really frustrated with like, look, just tell me, man.
Yeah.
Like, this dude's like, in real life, this dude's fucking crazy. Like, he's out there, man. Just tell me, do I need to invest? Like, part of me was like, if I don't need to have Joaquin Phoenix on my radar, it would be better for me as a person, emotionally and spiritually, to probably not have him on my radar. But if he's going to be on my radar, and it's because he's in a Joker movie, as the Joker, I can get excited about that. So just tell me. Yeah. And they refused to for a little while, and then we finally got the official word. And now I'm getting to see it. It's like, oh man, that was worth the torment. That was okay. All right. I apologize.
And some of what he was doing here reminded me of another movie he was in, The Master. It's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I'm not sure you would. You and I would have the same frustrations with it, but I've watched that thing a couple of times now, and he plays opposite Philip Seymour Hoffman. They are both killing it.
Yeah, I've heard people say that it was possibly both of their best work. Never seen it myself though.
It's absolutely worth a couple of watches, I would say.
That's a decent endorsement though. I'm not even sure I understand this movie, but watch it twice, at least twice.
Yeah, that's where I land on it. Like, yeah, it's
a Paul Thomas Anderson, man. I mean, it's out there.
It's compelling as hell. And there's been a lot of conjecture that it's really about L. Ron Hubbard, or at least was greatly inspired by his life. But
I don't even know the premise of this thing. I have no idea.
It's basically Joaquin Phoenix joins a cult run by Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Nice. Okay.
It's fantastic though. Like, it's really compelling stuff.
Good enough premise. Possibly my favorite shot of this trailer is he's in the elevator with the guy who's having seizures. It looked like a seizure, or just flipping out. I'm not sure, but dude's clearly having a bad day in the stretcher or gurney, whatever you want to call it. And there's just this determined look on his face that he's like determined to ignore the situation. And when you put it over the put on a happy face music, it was striking as hell. And like somehow there was this undertone where like he looks so determined to ignore it and just no, it's okay, be happy, you know. And on the other hand, it felt like there was this undertone. I'm not sure if it was the shot or his face or what, but somehow an undertone, or probably just the background of the Joker in general, that part B of his thought process was, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me, you know?
Yep. I'm so excited about this.
It was good.
It looks great.
It was good.
I used to think my life was a tragedy, but now I realize it's a comedy.
Good line. Good line. Over him doing the hair dye and everything, the big reveal of him in the big costume. It was a well done trailer.
Yes, it was a really well done trailer. The thing I love about Put on a Happy Face, though, and I don't know if you'll remember this, I'm sure somebody out there will. There is probably my favorite scene, or one of my favorite scenes, which there are many, in the 1989 Batman movie. The Smilex commercial.
Okay.
All right, so he goes through his whole spiel. He don't look happy. He's been using Brand X.
Yeah.
At the end of the commercial, he says, and remember, put on a happy face.
I didn't remember it till you pointed it out, but yeah, it's still back there.
It's the only time I remember ever hearing the Joker say it.
Nice.
So I'm wondering if this isn't a reference to that.
It is. It's a good one.
Yeah, but I'm excited for this movie. I don't care that it's not DCEU. And also, who's to say it's not? I say because I say that specifically because... Yeah, I say it specifically because if you look at the history of the Joker, like I keep seeing people complain about like, well, this isn't really the Joker we love. This is some other thing. It's not connected, blah, blah, blah. The timeline doesn't line up. Joker doesn't have an origin. I see a lot of different complaints about this online, and don't get it twisted. By and large, I'm seeing nothing but praise for this trailer, but there are a few people that I've seen who were like trying to like speak up and explain why it's a bad trailer because of their preconceptions of the Joker, and I'm like, bullshit, and here's why.
Yeah, I haven't.
The Joker
Twitter today.
Yeah, the Joker, like in the books, and possibly one of the most revered Joker storylines, The Killing Joke by Alan Moore, has an origin story, but also explains to Batman, sometimes I remember it differently. Now, Joker got an origin story, what was it, the 50s, where he was the Red Hood? Mm-hmm. I mean, this shit is not... it's not new to give the Joker an origin. 1989's Batman that I just talked about, he was Jack Napier, and he fell in the vat of acid. What if he didn't fall in a vat of acid, though? What if it was, the acid of society? What if that's the memory of him falling into the vat of acid was all a metaphor? Or maybe this, movie isn't a real memory. Maybe this movie is made up. Either way, it's compelling, and it looks cool, and I'm going to give it a shot, damn it.
Yeah, within the context of the kind of non-existent canon of his background, yeah, you can play around all day. And there's three things. One, the DCEU right now is a bit scattered. I think Kamada's got a good idea where he wants to go with it, but there's no reason to think that either A, this movie might not be able to kind of exist in its own place and spawn other movies if it does well enough, or B, be folded back in later if they feel like it.
Yeah, I don't think there's...
If it just stands alone and it's something people enjoyed, and it'll make its money, because it was a low budget, and enough people are going to care about the character. The response today, I think, showed it. Overwhelmingly, not even if it's not overwhelmingly, largely showed it. A lot of people are going to spend money on a ticket for this movie. It's going to make its money back. It's going to be successful financially.
Yes.
I don't think we have to worry about whether the movie is going to make its bones, and we don't necessarily have to worry about whether it'll be canon, but there are options for it. And
I don't. It is. I feel like it is as canon as any Joker origin story, and that's fine with me.
Oh, when I say canon, I mean to the rest of what we've seen in the movies so far. It could or it couldn't be, but it's got its options because there's enough to play with. We can write this in later, if we want to or if we don't. And it's a weird. I think I'm seeing into this, but if you've seen the full size poster of the Joker, I mean the like with him with his arms leaned back and all that, and the Joker put on a happy face and everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just talked about that.
I know. I'm saying the fog and the shape of him. It's because it's the Joker, and I looked at the fog immediately and thought that fog looks like Batman. It looks like a little bat symbol.
Yeah.
You see it though?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, just want to make sure I wasn't completely crazy. As far as multiple Jokers go, there's literally a property being written right now by Jeff Johns that's going to be published hopefully pretty soon, called Three Jokers. It's part of the canon of what they're doing in the books right now, is that there are three Jokers. And when I say three Jokers, I don't mean just there are three concepts of blah blah blah. I mean the chair told him there are three Jokers.
Not to mention that Gotham has even now created the precedent of there being proto-Jokers.
Yes. And like 12 of them. Also played wonderfully. Like, we're getting a great... I mean, no disrespect to Heath Ledger at all, and I still loved Jared Leto's Joker.
Leto.
Oh, yeah. It's been too long since we talked about him. I went back to my old ways.
Don't revert.
I still like that version. I would take away the damage tattoo, too. But anyway, we've got some great stuff before. But, man, they're killing it right now with this guy.
Yeah, and you know what? This is what I'm going to say about it. And not only do we have this Joker trailer that just dropped, there are like set pictures and stuff that have popped up for Birds of Prey. It is iffy about whether or not Leto's actually going to make an appearance in Birds of Prey, but we have seen the Joker, and it looks like Harley Quinn leaving a hovel of some sort with the Leto Joker, that version of the Joker in the window. Jared Leto on Instagram posted a story that had a clown face and nothing else. So some people think
that role, man.
Yeah, some people think he might be coming back to do voiceover for like a stand-in, and that we don't actually need to see Leto. That's fine.
Yeah, you'd have to pay him less. That's fine.
I'll tell you this: his version of the Joker isn't gone. He's still hanging around in the background somewhere. So right now, and I've even seen people saying this, but I've seen people saying, "Oh man, we got 3 versions of the Joker, and they all suck. None of them are the comic book." No, the comic book version of the Joker is varied. And we have what looks like an amazing Joaquin Phoenix Joker coming. We still have the Leto Joker in canon floating around in the shared universe movies. Yeah. And we have now, and I'll jump ahead to this real quick, Gotham, they've released a trailer for Joker in Gotham's episode 12 or whatever it is. Yes, he's mostly bald. He's got some long strands of hair, but otherwise he looks like the freaking Joker, dude. And he had a Batarang hanging out of his hand. Like,
yeah. I've only seen. I haven't gotten to watch the trailer for that. I only saw some still shots, but the actual still shot. Like, it's a weird take, man. It is a weird take for sure. Like I don't know of a precedent where he's losing his hair or that he's exactly that way acid burned, but whatever, man. They burned him in the show, so he's gonna have some burns.
Well, what the hair reminded me of is that what was it, Brave and the Bold, where they did set forth in the future where he's like old and he's got like Joker Jr. And he's bald and he's got the strands. Yeah. Something like that. There is a precedent for it, and I'm not sure I remember exactly where it is, but. It doesn't matter because like in this, it looked awesome. He looked like the Joker, and he's in this trailer. He like literally gets hit in the hand with a Batarang, catches him by surprise. He looks down, sees the Batarang hanging out of his hand, and like squeals with delight and laughs. Like we have like it goes the other way too. When you say like, oh, we got 3 versions and they're not what I like. Well, there's 3 different versions, and there's a lot to love out of all 3. Yeah. And if you can't find something to love out of all 3 of those Jokers and something to be excited about, the joke's on you, man. You need to put on a happy face.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay to not be completely happy with any of them and still like a little bit of them. I'm pretty happy with most of what I've been shown on all these characters so far. By the way, was it Return of the Joker where he had the scraggly hair?
No.
You sure? Okay. Because they had the older version.
You talking about Batman Beyond?
No, I was talking about the movie. Okay. Maybe that was wrong.
Wait. The only Return of the Joker I know is Batman Beyond Return of the Joker.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah, that's not in there.
That's not in there? Okay. Well, all right.
No.
One of us will rewatch it later and go, that's it, and tell the other one.
I think if... Right. Yeah.
We'll figure it out later.
Help us out, somebody.
Yeah.
All right. So, we've also got...
We're back to WonderCon?
Yeah, I think so. There's apparently an animated film that's a top secret DC project coming. Mm-hmm. I hope it's that Batman Beyond thing that we heard was debunked. But, maybe it's not. We know...
Still got my fingers crossed for Dark Knight's Metal at some point.
We do know that they're planning on something with Cyborg and Superman in the animated realm. And as I mentioned earlier, Super Pets is in production, apparently.
Right.
Let's see. Peter Safran was talking to IGN. And he was talking about the upbeat tone in Shazam and how it relates to the films that are coming after it. He says, I think that DC has the same idea we do now, which is every movie that they make should have the right tone for that particular character. Shazam is such a fun character. He's all about wish fulfillment. He is fun and funny, and that is the tone that you should have for the film. Aquaman has got a tone, fantastical element. Shazam is fun and funny. Wonder Woman's got her thing. I like that he doesn't seem to know what her thing is. He's just like, Wonder Woman's got her thing.
It worked for her, whatever that thing was.
He's like, I think they realize each tone has to be specific for each movie. Listen, there are certain characters like Batman, like the Joker, that dark tone is perfect for them. It's what you really want to see. So at least they know that. At least they are planning on, variants in their tones, tones to fit their characters.
I feel like I can rephrase what he's said. I'll try. I feel like if they had treated Superman differently, this whole thing would be going very differently. Who do you leave out of that? Supes.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's
maybe that's what he's saying.
It's an opinion a lot of people have. It's as valid as the rest of them. It's fine. I mean, if you didn't like the treatment of Superman, I get it. It's fine. I liked it. But whatever.
I do feel like he's speaking more to the criticism or the worry that a lot of DC fans have that now that Aquaman has been a success and Shazam looks like it's going to be a success, everything is going to be like fun and light and funny
super
and family friendly.
Yeah.
And well, I think we got a response with this Joker trailer.
Yeah, and there's still people that keep up with this stuff who have kind of said, well, I mean, yeah, you do that right, but then the rest of it got all weird on MCU-y, and it's just I don't think it's like that. He described it pretty well.
Yeah,
it's what he left out, like you pointed out with Wonder Woman. That I'm like, yeah, he didn't say anything about Superman.
I think he rightly knows that that's still a sore spot for the studio. What don't bring Superman in. There's probably a directive from on high. If you're being interviewed, don't bring up Superman.
Don't bring up Superman until we figure out what we're doing.
As I don't think they know what they're doing. All right, so
all I'm sure about is they're still trying to figure it out because they know damn well they can't not do something with Superman.
Oh yeah,
that's
absolutely.
The only thing I'm sure about, and
totally.
I'm also damn sure that they're still talking to Henry Cavill because it would have come out otherwise at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I know. That's all I'd put money on.
So Shazam, the marketing is kicking up for Shazam. It comes out tomorrow. We're recording Wednesday night, the 3rd.
I kind of forgot completely because we got the early screening, and it's like completely slipped my mind that hasn't actually premiered yet.
Yeah, and I will actually put a link to our Shazam review in the show notes so that you guys can go back and if you didn't check it out before or something. Mm-hmm. But Robot Chicken. They did a Robot Chicken spot with Shazam, and it actually features the voices of Zachary Levi and Jack Dylan Grazer. Right. They had a lot of did sort of a parody of a lot of the scenes in the movie. Where he's got bullet immunity, but the crook can still kick him in the dick.
Right. Yeah, it was good.
A lot of fun about how he's trying to get beer, and they're like, I still need to see an ID, and he still can't buy the beer.
Right.
A lot of good stuff.
He's trying to mind control the guy.
Oh yeah, he's trying to mind control the guy.
Him
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. It was good. It was I don't know, perfectly Robot Chicken.
Mm-hmm. You guys should absolutely go see that as soon as it's out, which is again tomorrow.
Yeah,
probably right now.
There have been a few times that I've wanted to talk to somebody about have you seen the movie? And I kind of had to stop myself and just instead say, I really need you to go see Shazam.
When it's out, yeah. Oh, is it out? No.
I need you to make room this weekend in your schedule and see this movie because I need to talk to you about it next week.
Mm-hmm. I keep forgetting it's not out
generally,
today.
what I've told people is look, just go, man. You're gonna enjoy yourself. Just fucking go. Go spend $11, $12, whatever it's worth in your reach. Go spend the money.
Mm-hmm. All right, so this was exciting to me. Jai Courtney told Business Insider that he is coming back to play Captain Boomerang in the Suicide Squad sequel / reboot, whatever they're saying it is this week.
Whatever that ends up being.
Which I think I'm just going to start calling it Suicide Squad 2. Good enough for Toby Emmerich.
If it came from Toby Emmerich, I'm comfortable with that until further notice. I'm good with that. I support you. I also support Jai Courtney coming back. That sounds fantastic.
Yep. He says...
and if you don't understand how good he was in Suicide Squad, I urge you to find the director's cut with the extra footage of him in it.
Well, it's not the director's cut. It's an extended cut because the director's cut has never been seen.
Yeah, the air cut.
Hashtag release the air cut.
I know. I misspoke. find that extra 13 minutes of footage. It's completely worth it, and it adds a lot to his character.
He says, we're getting ready to shoot in a few months. There's not much else I can reveal about it, but yeah, you'll be seeing Boomerang back for sure. I am excited about that. Loved seeing him. I loved him
so
in the
weird to
theatrical
get that from
thing.
Business Insider.
Right.
Yeah, he was still good in the theatrical. But I feel like he was one of the characters that, man, he really those few minutes of extra time with him in the 13 extra minutes, I think, right?
Something like that.
They added a lot for me.
All right, so Revenge of the Fans is reporting that Suicide Squad 2 is going to be having trading in their supernatural threat for an alien one, and that there's going to be there is a casting call for a 20 to 30-year-old woman who is comfortable with heavy prosthetics, and the report describes a quote surly, muscular alien woman. No idea what that means.
Surly, muscular alien woman.
Uh-huh.
Is like Big Barda gonna be the villain?
I mean, Big Barda wouldn't need heavy prosthetics.
I mean, no, but you would have to cast somebody that's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be in the casting call, right?
Maybe.
20 to 30, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, must be nearing 7 feet tall.
Right. It's been reported.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't either. I've been racking my brain all day.
I have to
And
ponder that one.
yeah. Fathom Events, almost said Fandango. Fathom Events has announced that the 4 Batman movies, 89, 92, 95, and 97, the Burton and Schumacher films, are going to be back in theaters to celebrate the 80th anniversary. Batman 89 is going to be Saturday, May 4th at select theaters, 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Batman Returns, Monday, May 6th, 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Batman Forever, Saturday, May 12th, 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Batman and Robin on Tuesday, May 14th, 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. So if you have any interest in going to see any of those, I might actually. I haven't seen Batman in theaters, the first one, since I was 6, and I never got to see Batman Returns. I'm tempted to go see all of these, honestly.
It is tempting. The first 2 is probably where that's probably where I'd call it.
Yeah,
I honestly think I saw every one of those on VHS. I don't
Batman
think I saw
Forever,
any of them in theater.
I remember going to see Batman Forever in theater, and it was so packed, we didn't have seats. We stood in the aisle.
Wow.
Yeah, we stood in the aisle for whatever that was, 2 hours, watching Batman Forever. And people were hooping and hollering. People were excited. That was a popular movie.
Yeah.
It was the height of Batman craze, or the secondary Batman craze after Batman, because that was really the Batman craze. The 89 Batman was just crazy. Everyone was crazy about Batman. But
Yeah,
Jim Carrey was
Batman Forever
huge.
had Kiss from a Rose, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That was huge. I mean, that ate up an entire summer, that song.
Yeah, and U2's Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me. That was a big one from that album. I mean, that soundtrack, I own that soundtrack in a couple of different formats. And I'm annoyed that it's not on Spotify. I mean, freaking Nick Cave, they had Brandy, they had, U2.
There's a lot of big
Seal.
names.
Yeah.
Kiss from a Rose is, I still maintain, it's a pretty damn good tune.
It is.
And it's one of those songs, though, where, like, you can find yourself kind of trying to hum it or sing it alone, not thinking about it, and then realize you only know, like, 4 lines.
Mm-hmm.
I
know
know
the
half
whole
of
thing.
those 4 lines.
Not 3 days ago, me and my wife were walking around singing that song.
That's perfect. I love you too. Not the band, I want to be clear.
My pleasure.
It's the Robertsons I'm talking about.
And then that whole album ends with the freaking fantastic Flaming Lips song "Bad Day." It's such a great album and such a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
And Jim Carrey's a lot of fun in that movie. I know it's not a great movie, but Jim Carrey is a lot of fun.
He is. That was the height of also the height of his Jim Carreyness.
Mm-hmm.
It's tempting. I agree. It's tempting. I really do want to try to get 89 Batman because I never got to see that one.
Mm-hmm. May 4th, man.
I'm going to try to probably work that into my schedule.
All right. This is exciting news. DC Universe is going to add their entire DC Comics library to the service.
Oh, it's huge. That is like secretly maybe the biggest thing that we're talking about this week.
I am super excited about it. I squealed when I saw it.
Yeah. I thought you'd be happy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are the comics released will include any issue aside from ones released in the last 12 months, and that's going to be the standard going forward. That's fair, yeah. But I mean, all the other DC comics over the past 80 years, yeah, please. I'm really behind. I might catch up now.
There's all this stuff I've been spoiling for you that you can kind of get back on.
Yeah, there's so much. Like New 52, I'm catching up, guys. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it. I'm gonna read it.
I would. Is it gonna be all of the? It's not just the normal issues, right? I mean, it's gonna be some of the side stuff, and I wonder like how far they've taken it. Is it gonna be graphic novels as well? Because some of those have weird publishing rights.
Well, I think most of the graphic novels are come out as individual issues anyway.
Well, a lot of them, and then you have like the specifically published stuff, like the true Elseworlds stuff.
I would assume it's all coming.
I'm assuming it's all coming as well.
Yeah. So I don't know what this means for you guys. Whether or not you want this is motivation for you to follow me on Goodreads, or if this is motivation for you to unfollow me on Goodreads. But I am on Goodreads,
and this will be featured heavily going forward.
And yeah, I might have some stuff to say.
The thing that Dr. Steve brought this up, and
Injustice is happening.
Yeah, I was following Injustice for a while, and I just kind of trailed off. It was one of those things where I just kind of forgot, and then the next week I forgot again, and then it was just gone, and that just happens sometimes. And I want to go back because I was really enjoying the story. I mean, if I remember correctly, there's some stuff in there with like Mirror Master, and I always enjoy his stuff for some reason. I just love his power. It's so weird and like strangely defined. But yeah, that's one of the first things I'm going to tackle is the Injustice if that shows up. It may have already. I'm not. Well, I guess I could see, but still, one of the first things on the list.
Yeah,
but it will also expand something.
What's that?
Our little pull list thing on Patreon was previously limited by like what I could get my hands on. No longer. This will at this point become like you can just hop on DC Universe and say like, yeah, I just read this. What do you think? Okay, I'll go read that. Yeah,
I suspect the first thing I jump on is like any and all Scott Snyder Batman.
Oh God, it's so good. Yeah, I mean, did you ever get around to Court of Owls?
Yeah, I read Court of Owls and I read 0 Year.
Okay. Overall, I'll just say the rest of it also great.
I wouldn't doubt it. I enjoyed the hell out of what I read.
Yeah, man, that guy's he's one of the best of our time. Like it's amazing.
I'm looking at a copy of Black Mirror, and I think I read it a long time ago, but I'd like to go back.
Oh man, I just looked it up. They've got I think all of Injustice on there already, so that's where my time's gonna go. That's where my summer's going. I thought I was gonna watch Stranger Things season 2 finally, but no.
Oh yeah, you should go ahead and do that. That's a good time.
I really enjoyed the first one. I haven't been able to since.
Yeah. Well, Stranger Things not going to be that long. I think they're dropping their 3rd season in the summer, so you can just watch the whole thing.
Oh, just go for it. That's a lot. Oh, also this Friday. And by the way, Fridays right now are some of my favorite. It's like my favorite day of the week for a lot of reasons. Because it's Friday, right? But Doom Patrol. I guess. Every Friday night, I get to come home and finish everything with the baby and make sure everything's cool, and then I get my alone time eventually, and then I'll just stay up late and watch Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol's fantastic.
I'll usually watch it again that weekend at some point. This last episode, just oh Jesus, that was one of the best episodes of any DC property I've seen. Like top 20 ever.
My name is Admiral Whiskers.
That was so good. Like that, I kept pausing. It's you know how rare it is. I kept pausing the episode to sit there and think about the episode and how good it was.
That's pretty great.
That was a lot. Like I literally alone in my office with the rest of the house asleep a couple times just went, oh God damn it. I was so impressed. But this Friday in particular, Tick Season 2 comes back.
Tick Season 2? You know, I never saw Season 1.
Oh, delightful.
I saw the pilot and I was really excited about Season 1 coming, and then I never saw it. Like, I just never got around to it.
It was delightful. You're going to really enjoy yourself. It's one of those, when you get time, you're going to have a great time.
All right, so I'm gonna jump back into DC news.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
And I'm probably not gonna edit all that out for a Patreon.
Nah.
That's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot to do tonight.
Yeah.
All right, so distressing news for many people. I'm okay with it. I'm a little curious how this is all going to work out. But Emily Bett Rickards has announced that she is leaving Arrow after season 7, and the Arrow showrunner, Beth Schwartz, confirms that Felicity's exit will happen before the season ends.
Yeah.
She said her departure is addressed at the end of the season. We kind of knew that she was leaving, and then they knew going into the season 7 finale that she was leaving. And they asked if she would be returning for the series finale. And Schwartz was unable to confirm it. She said, "I cannot comment on that," which isn't a surprise.
No.
But yeah, dude, Arrow's gotten weird. Last few episodes have not been good to me. I haven't liked the last few episodes.
I'm trying to remember the last few episodes.
Exactly.
The big thing was Emiko's reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Emiko. Anyway.
Well, then they did the whole flash forward, the entire episode with like Felicity and Mia running around and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it was as good as what they were leading up to before they got on this little break.
Mm-hmm.
I can get behind that. It was better before this in the season, but it is surprising to know like her end is coming so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But again, hey, they kept saying she was dead, so maybe they're gonna follow through with that.
I don't think so, but
look, in our version of events, we think they're gonna kill Oliver too. So
that's right.
Screw it, kill them all.
All right, so I have written down here that we'll talk about Gotham's Joker reveal. We already did because I want to make a point. So moving on.
Cool.
DC Universe released their first look at Brec Bassinger's Stargirl. I don't have a lot to say about it except that, damn, does it look like Stargirl?
Oh yeah, looks great.
Looks great. Looks fantastic.
No idea what they're doing with it other than that, but Jeff Johns is in charge, so let's do it.
Look, I am really excited about that show because she looks fantastic. We've got Luke Wilson coming in as Stripe, and we've got Joel McHale as her stepfather.
Yeah, super excited about Joel McHale.
Or not her stepfather. Maybe he's somewhere in there. I can't remember who he was. No. He was Starman. That's what it was.
Yeah, Starman. Sorry,
he's Starman. Yeah. So.
Shouldn't have followed you down that trail. You misled me.
Luke Wilson is her stepfather.
Right.
I misled you. I misspoke.
And I was not paying enough attention.
Damn it, man.
If all I knew about that show was it's going to be Stargirl, Jeff Johns is in charge, and Joel McHale's going to come on every once in a while, I would still be all in. Mm-hmm. Like, I would buy the service. I would buy $7.99 a month for that. Easy.
Mm-hmm. And they have announced Swamp Thing, the date, May 31st.
Sooner than we thought.
I'm on board, dude. I'm excited about Swamp Thing. I've been excited about Swamp Thing since it was announced.
Yeah,
like,
it's Swamp Thing.
Hard R, James Wan, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Crystal Reed, I liked her from Gotham. Let's do this. Let's do it all.
Yeah. Oh, imagine how excited they are. They signed James Wan before that thing made $1 billion.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be.
Though, to be fair, that may have been part of his signing on deal in the first place, is that he would be.
Could have been.
It
could have been.
Of course.
It got announced way after and before the movie premiered. So it was while it was still in production, they were like, oh yeah, James Wan's going to do this too.
But I would like to I wonder where his contract really started, because he's been doing those horror movies for them, I think. So I think it was for Warner Brothers. He may have had a deal in place somewhere before there, but all right.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Titan season 2. Kieran Walters, Jason Todd confirmed as a series regular for season 2.
Nice.
Excited about that. He teased Robin's new costume, which has been described as having silver and red in it. But it was taken down. Like, he posted it on Instagram, and then WB shut him the hell down. But, you tell me
it's
silver...
always the younger actors that...
Yeah. They get excitable.
Like Tom Holland or something like that. We're like, dude, just... Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have access to the internet anymore, man.
Did you hear that bit where like the Russo? I think Joe Russo was saying, like, he's like, we don't give Tom Holland a script. We have Tom Holland reading. I can't remember the actual quote. It was like something like, we have Tom Holland reading against vague characters. We don't let him know who he's talking to or what he's talking about.
Yeah. Oh, entirely. I mean, Robert Downey does a thing now where he doesn't even. Apparently he's good at it. Some people use this tech and some people don't, but he has an actual earbud and he just wears that and people tell him what his next line is. So I think he reads the script and if I understand correctly, he reads the script and he knows where the whole thing's going. So he knows what he's supposed to be playing, but like word for word, he just kind of does that in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't even surprise me if they just did that and just literally had him puppet the lines.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that.
I heard that somewhere. I want that to be true because it makes sense.
All right, our last piece of news: they released the Pennyworth teaser trailer.
Oh yeah,
I don't
I'll
know
say
a lot
this.
of what you got to say.
The show will apparently be very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It looks great.
It absolutely looks great.
Still have no fucking idea what I'm in store. What's in store? No idea.
This doesn't feel like I thought it would feel, which is weird because it does feel very much like Gotham in a lot of ways.
Yeah, a bunch of like knives being slashed and
British imagery,
ostentatious costumes, and lavish scenery. Yeah.
Also, it reminded me a lot of some of the newer James Bond movies. It reminded me a lot of Casino Royale. I'm already digging the guy playing Alfred. He seems fantastic with just his little introduction.
That's all I've got. I mean,
I just kind of giggled and was like, I really am looking forward to watching this. This looks fun as hell.
I mean, I've got like 12 words out of the dude. I'm not sure.
I'm down. I'm down so far.
I've got nothing against it.
Looks like a lot of fun.
But I was like, what is it, 13 or 17 seconds or something? And I kind of thought, well, I know as much as I did before I watched that 13 seconds about what we will be doing this season on Alfred or Pennyworth. And
we know it's like from the people who did Gotham. So I don't know. It's kind of mind-boggling to me. I've seen some people on Twitter saying like, well, Fox is canceling Gotham and we're not going to watch Pennyworth if Gotham actually ends.
Yeah, dude, that
doesn't make any sense.
No, that's just
any sense at all.
There are people that think that DC operates their movies and television networks the way they operate their comics. Mm-hmm. Where in the comics they can just shuffle a character over to say the Justice League and cancel his personal run. Or there are people that think that like the creative control and the creative ideology of what you're doing with these characters that we all love. Mm-hmm. Is somehow taking precedent over how actual business fucking works. Mm-hmm. And I mean, anyone we can explain that that's not how things really work, but a large percentage of some of the people that think that way just don't ever look into it anymore and don't hear explanations of why that's not how this works. So yeah, you're going to see that.
Which just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me for a number of reasons. Like Fox has been really kind about Gotham. They really have.
Oh, yeah. They kept it longer than was maybe justifiable.
Like, for one thing, I keep seeing people saying, hashtag save Gotham, and they're saying things on the internet like, it's not right that it's getting canceled. It's, we got to save it. And then they're like complaining that like the finale is going to be at the same time as Shazam is coming on the same night as Shazam opens. And that most people are saying they're going to go see Shazam and then like come home and watch their DVR or whatever of Gotham. And like, what about the Gotham's ratings? Gotham is over.
It doesn't matter.
They're burning Gotham off. And also, the evidence would suggest that is how people have been watching Gotham for 5 years.
Yeah. And networks take the +7 ratings into account because of that. It's fine. It's okay.
The +7,
you're allowed to DVR something and watch it. And the reason it's +7 in a lot of ways is because a week is a good measuring device on almost any metric as far as entertainment. And two, whatever. Two, you normally try to watch an episode before the new episode comes out. Mm-hmm. Like if you're really into a show, you try to you try to do it before the new one does. It's an instinct. Mm-hmm. So
and
it works,
+7 is
and they're
streaming.
paying attention to that.
Oh yeah, they are, because +7 in streaming has been the reason Gotham has been renewed. If it was based on actual ratings, it would have been gone after season 1.
It would have made it through season 2, I think. Maybe because it went from like 13 million, I think, was where it premiered. I want to say. Mm-hmm. God, it's been years, but I want to say it was around there, and it got into like the 4 million territory, but I think that wasn't until like year 3. I have to look it up, but by my count, Fox. I don't trust Fox for a lot of reasons. Like Family Guy is my favorite reason not to trust Fox.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they canceled this show that was beloved, and then they brought it back, and they've never taken it away because it stays and it still has ratings. Mm-hmm. It to me was this massive abortion of trust.
Sure.
The same reason the Futurama writers kind of say like our episodes didn't get released so much as they escaped.
Right, and that's why I sort of questioned your Family Guy logic, because I was like, there are shows before Family Guy that would have been a big waving flag of distrust from Fox.
Yeah, but over time, like Futurama at least made it to another network and still got canceled.
I mean, I'm still over here seething over freaking Time Tracks.
And we can all go back to Firefly. It's just there's a lot to mistrust about Fox.
I'm like, you got Family Guy? What about the Adventures of Briscoe County Jr., you ass?
I know. I know. I'm sorry. But to me, bottom line, like, Fox is, for the most part, a shit show. But they did treat Gotham really well. Like, this show normally would have been canceled long before. I think Lucifer kind of had the same thing going on, but they actually did have higher normal Nielsen ratings. Mm-hmm. They weren't relying on the plus as much, but they did over just a few seasons deteriorate pretty hard. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll also say this quick aside. Married with Children, the show that put Fox on the map, all right, got 11 seasons. I'm not complaining about 11 seasons. That's a fantastic run. They did not tell anyone that they were getting canceled. Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy himself, found out he was canceled while sitting in a restaurant eating. He heard freaking people on the table next to him talking about how they canceled Married with Children. He got up, paid for their dinner, and thanked them for telling him. That's the kind of shit Fox does.
Yeah. But it's... I'll give them this. Fox isn't alone in the, like, canceling somebody with basically no warning. A lot of them do it. Mm-hmm. God, yeah. Again, you want to go back to other shows. But still, a lot of them do that. But they did. They have treated this show with a lot of respect. I don't know why. I think I have a suspicion that a lot of the people that actually run the network enjoy the show. I really do just suspect that that's involved. Because, like, a lot of shows don't get a heads up and don't get to run their story, even though I think they originally said they wanted 7 seasons to tell their story. Yeah. Instead of, 5.5.
Or 5. Or 4.5.
4.5, really, yeah. Yeah, it got a great run. And the whole Save Gotham thing, no. Same as the Save Arrow thing, no. The creators are done with this thing. And no one's walking away mad. No one's walking away disappointed. All parties concerned feel like this is where it should go. And if it just you rarely get this. You rarely get to see a show walk away on its own terms. Please respect that.
I mean, if they are talking about like what they're talking about, okay, if they said, like, a lot of the people are saying, oh, well, they were planning on 7 years. All right. Realize that in the final episode, they're doing a 10-year jump ahead. And these Save Gotham people are complaining that, like, oh, they're recasting Cameron by Cordova. She's not going to be Catwoman proper. She deserves to be. This is why we need 2 more seasons. She was never going to be. They're doing 10 years in the future. She's still not going to look like a grown Selena.
She's not going to look like 10 years in the future.
And also, when they cast her, they didn't know she wasn't going to grow. Like, she just happens to look like a 15-year-old girl, and she's like 19 or something now.
Yeah.
She might be 18.
That's hard to do, and they put a ton of effort into that kind of crap. Like when they cast David, they put a ton of effort into like physiologically measuring this guy and saying, no, I think he's going to change. I think he's going to look like he changed. Because there are ways to do that. It's insane. But there are actually ways to look at somebody's features and actually tell them, okay, well, this guy's features indicate that his nose is going to get X amount bigger and whatever. Mm-hmm. Again, stupid insane. Like, you'd have to go ask a plastic surgeon about how this whole thing works. But I've heard that it's a thing.
I'll say this, though, about the people who are saying they're going to boycott Pennyworth because Gotham doesn't get extra seasons or whatever. I mean, some of these people are going over to Pennyworth, I imagine, or are working at the same time. It just, it reminds me of that line from High Fidelity with John Cusack and Jack Black, where Jack Black is talking to the guy in the record store, and the guy was talking about how there are no more Echo in the Bunnymen albums, and freaking Jack Black goes, "What about the Jesus and Mary chain?" He's like, "Well, I always thought they were." He's like, "You always thought they were what? They were always really great, is what they always seemed." He's like, "You're over here whining about no more Echo and the Bunnymen, but you don't own the Jesus and Mary chain? What the hell's wrong with you?" That's kind of how I feel. Like, yeah, it's from the same people as far as the executive producers, and maybe some of those people will end up getting transferred over because that happens.
Probably will. I hear in the WB universe, I hear there's a lot of people that just kind of stay in Vancouver because there's always going to be work there working on the CW stuff.
Yeah. So It doesn't
Like there are
benefit
people
anyone.
that apparently there are people that Stephen Amell works with now that apparently he was worried or he was concerned about his relationship with them because of like Tom Welling back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that he's inherited certain problems that are certain problems that apparently Tom Welling created because he was fucking tired. Because the dude got to sleep 3.5 hours a night for a little while there, and
Yeah. Well, it is interesting to think about a lot of these people on Twitter. I wonder how they would view something like Misery. Like if they watched Misery, would they see her as the hero of this tale?
No.
Like, yeah, you tell him. You break that man's legs for killing off your character.
I don't know. Some of the people, not all, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of valid complaints you can make about all of this stuff, but then you run across certain people and you're like, you wouldn't so much as read that book, would you? You got no background here.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said watch.
Yeah.
Watch Kathy Bates in Misery. I don't expect you to read a book. God forbid. But
Man, there's a few of them that, just it's part of the interconnected nature of how things work today. And I did that with Twitter a lot today. Like just reading down it today was rough because there was a lot of stuff going on, and it was a field of hot takes.
that sounds right.
Surrounded by a sea of people going, "Oh, this looks fun." But today in particular, I couldn't see the forest for the trees. I was like, I just don't want to be on Twitter today. Fuck this. Closed it and didn't open it again.
I've
try
had
again
I've had a couple of weeks where it's been more and more happening more and more that I kind of pop onto Twitter and go, and move off. Like, just I don't know.
It can go that way. Every now and then I'll it's exciting and fun and engaging, and then some days I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be a part of this at all.
And say what you will about Twitter, Facebook is worse, I think.
Depends on the day. I swear it depends on the day. And the amount of funny dog memes, because you can find those more on Facebook.
I mean in terms of fandom.
I know.
Yeah.
But at least on
anyway.
Facebook, sometimes I can scroll down and be like, "Oh, this is terrible," and then a dog will make me laugh, and I'm like, "Okay, I can survive another few seconds."
You know, I pretty much had to just leave most of the DC-based groups that I was a part of on Facebook just because I couldn't scroll without seeing, like, the 37th argument for why Christian Bale was a better Batman than Batfleck. And it's like, that's all those guys talk about is, like, which one was your favorite Batman? Well, you're wrong!
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Anyway.
It can be tiresome.
Let's end this episode. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/DC on screen. We are coming right back. You're going to get 2 episodes from us. We'll probably post this one, and then the 80th anniversary of Batman episode the next day. So you should have something to look forward to tomorrow, unless you're behind, in which case it's probably already there. And we'll have some new Patreon stuff probably tonight or the next day. Yay!
All good guesses.
We love you guys. Keep some DC on your screen.
Bye.
Our opening narration was from Dan Jurgens' The History of the DC Universe, Part 3 of 10, as featured in DC 52, Week 4. It was performed by me, David C. Robertson. Intro music by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Future Elevators, could be found on Spotify or future-elevators.com. Our introduction was performed by Effie Oppelders of the fantastic podcast Stealing the Remote, which lives on SoundCloud. It can also be found on iTunes and Stitcher. We are proudly in partnership with TV Time, the TV show calendar and social media site that lets you keep track of what you're watching, what your friends are watching, and where you all left off. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. Visit maladjusted.tv for more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, an improvised web series, vlogs, parodies, and more.
Are you maladjusted? Are you struggling to conceive? You have options, and at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, we'll make sure you have the guidance and support you need. Preg is known for individualized fertility care that's unique to every patient. We take the time to provide a reassuring and empowering experience because we believe that you deserve nothing less. Let us help you on your journey to parenthood. Visit us at pregonline.com to learn more. Get the guidance and support you need at Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group.
We all love the low country lifestyle, which is why we should do our best to protect it. To get insurance that helps you protect your home from whatever the low country throws at you, contact CT Lowndes & Company today. Their local agents can review your coverage to help make sure you're properly protected. CT Lowndes & Company has been helping protect and insuring the low country since 1850. Visit ctlowndes.com to learn more and request a quote. That's CTLOWNDES.com.